Hi there, thanks for tuning in. My name is Maria. Today I'm going to whip up my famous banana caramel cheesecake. You heard that, banana caramel. It's so friggin' delicious. So stick around and let's get busy. Kitchen ready to go. Just want to quickly show you all the ingredients that go into this delicious banana caramel cheesecake. So simple to make. For the graham cracker or the crust, we're going to use some melba toast. These are the closest I could find to melba toast, and they're so crisp and easy to blitz. To that, we're going to add some sugar, some cinnamon, some salt, and melted butter. That's going to give us our base. For the cream cheese mixture, we need some cream cheese, some sugar, 2 eggs, vanilla extract, and that's all you need. For the topping, the caramel, it's a combination of cream, butter, pinch of salt, and of course we've got our banana. My bananas are not ripe enough. I'm going to ask my neighbor if she has at least 2 bananas I can borrow from her. I'll swap, because these are just a little too green. We don't want them too ripe, but we don't want them this green either. All right, so I've got my blitzer here, mixer blitzer, and we want 1.5 cups of these crackers, biscuits, melba toast, whatever you have. These have no salt, no sugar. They're perfect for this. Literally takes seconds. So I need 1.5 cups. Oops, I'm gonna put that lid back in there. I'll blitz all this. 1. Just made it. Perfect. All right. So that's 1.5 cups all done. To that, we're going to add our sugar, an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I like adding cinnamon, and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of cinnamon. You don't have to add the cinnamon, but I do. Every time I make a base crumb for a springform, this type of cake pie, I always do that. I always add that cinnamon because it just gives it a nice flavor. All right, now I do things a little differently. Most people will put their melted butter into their bowl mixture, but I don't do that. I like to get my springform pan, and I like to just go ahead and dump that in there, space it out, and then I add my butter, my melted butter. And you're going to have to use your fingers no matter how you look at it. It's impossible not to. When you're in the kitchen, you got to use your fingers. It's impossible to cook and not get your fingers involved as far as getting them wet. Okay, so let's just mix this in this bowl, in the pie plate. Springform pan is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's get it all mixed in here. We got sugar, salt, cinnamon, butter, and our delicious, I'm going to call it melba toast, even though melba toast is actually a brand. I'm sure North Americans know what I'm talking about. All right. Now, for this part, just press press with your hand all around. You're just coating the base of the pan. You're not bringing up the crumb to the sides. And you just press. That's it. And you don't have to pre-bake this at all. It's quite crumbly, and that's fine. Grab our bowl. We need 2.5 packages of cream cheese, room temperature. Could be Philadelphia if you have that. Philadelphia cream cheese, but it doesn't have to be. Cream cheese to me is cream cheese, no matter what the brand is. 2.5. And of course I'll put the ingredients down below in the bottom of the video. We're gonna add our sugar. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 2 eggs. It's so simple to make. Everybody thinks it's so difficult. It's such an easy recipe. You just need to have a little patience when it's baking, that's all. The bain marie is not that difficult to do. And it's a sure-proof sign that you're not going to overcook your the base of your, whether it's a pie or a casserole or whatever that is that you're making. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bring this all together. You can use a mixer for this, electric mixer. I'm just going to use my arm. I need that exercise. It smells so good. And what I'm smelling is the vanilla extract. To this, you could add 1/2 cup of mashed banana, but as I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not going to because my sliced banana will go on top, and then I've got the caramel going on top of the whole cake. And it's just going to be so flavorful. Every bite you'll taste the banana. All right, folks, that's it. It's all done. Now before we do pour that batter in there, I'm going to take tin foil and I'm going to wrap the base of the springform pan. I'll take 2 pieces. And the reason why I do this is just because I don't want any water from the Maria bath bain marie to get into the bottom of the springform pan, because I never thought that the springform pans are 100% proof. That's just me, in my experience. 1 more piece. All right. Now, ready to assemble this. So next, we'll put that into our roasting pan. And we're going to go ahead and place our cream cheese filling into the pan. And it's ready for the oven. The oven's preheated now, 350. And we're going to cook this for about 45 minutes. I'm going to check on it. If you find that the top, I think I jumped the gun here. Before I put this in the oven, I'm going to put 2 cups of water into the roasting pan. 2, and that should do it. Okay, it's just a little bit of water. So it's going to go in at 350 for about 45 minutes. I'm going to check it halfway into the baking What I'm checking for is the cover, like the top. We don't want it to burn, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. It's that simple. Next thing, the caramel. It's so easy to make, and we'll make it momentarily. We'll put it in a glass jar and let it cool down. Another beautiful cruise ship. Not the monstrous ones, this is more small. I think it's about 1,200, and it does the world cruise. So it was here in Madeira, the Funchal port, all day. Now it's heading over to North America. Not beautiful? Love, love the views we get here. All right, I've got 2 cups of sugar in my saucepan. I've got the heat on. I'm doubling up the batch. We need, for a single batch, 6 tablespoons of butter. In this case, I'm using 12 because I'm doubling up the batch. 1 cup of heavy cream. You need a whisk, a wooden spoon, and your glove. And I'll show you how this works. First thing first, we work on the sugar. We got to stir it constantly until it becomes complete liquid. Got to keep stirring. I just wanted to show you how it's looking. So it's getting there. A few more minutes before we could go to the next step, which is slowly adding the butter. Make sure the butter is at room temperature, and we have to add it gradually because it will bubble, and we don't want it to explode. Well, I don't mean explode, but bubble too much. It's an amber brown, and I still have a few little lumps in there, but it's getting to that consistency. I'm going to start adding the butter very, very slowly. I've got it on low heat. I'm going to remove it from the heat, and I'm going to add the butter. Just keep stirring. It may look like the butter and the sugar is separating, and you just keep whisking it. We're stirring it, and then we'll use the whisk after. Just be careful when you do this. Right. Oh, yay! It's looking good. This is exactly what we want. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my whisk now. You want the whisk, so the whisk will mix the 2 sugar and the butter while we're stirring. Just keep stirring. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. Ooh, that's hot. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring. You want to do this off the flame because it does bubble quite a bit. I'd say this is probably the toughest part of the whole process of making caramel. It's the bubbling part. Just keep stirring gently. Back on the flame. Your arm will feel like super tired. Stir it up a little bit more. And you're going to keep stirring it until it starts to gently boil. I'm going to try to get all that in there. We're almost done. It's on low heat, and the last thing we want here is for it to bubble. Once it starts to bubble, then our caramel is done. I got my jar ready. Everything turns into candy. If you didn't put the cream in, everything would turn hard. Butter, cream, and sugar. Unreal. And the flavor is just phenomenal. Hasn't boiled yet. When it boils, then I turn it off. Then I'll pour it into our jar and let it cool completely. It does thicken a bit. Honestly, I worked up a sweat just stirring that. Almost there. Once it boils like that, you turn off the heat and you pour it into the jar and let it cool, and we'll use it when we're ready. And there's my jar of homemade caramel. I doubled the batch because I need it also for another dessert that I'm making. But that's it. It's so good. It's gonna cool down now. Got my cheesecake baking away in the bain marie in the oven. It needs another 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna check on it. Let's take a look. It's looking beautiful. Well, folks, I have to apologize. I totally forgot to videotape the end result of the cheesecake, but there's one slice left. It was such a hit. Everybody just loved it. So at the end, I just sliced up my bananas and I poured the caramel over it. It looks delicious. And this last piece, I think I'm gonna split it with Alan for later. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you try this recipe. It is truly a decadent dessert and well worth it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.